For today's lesson, you would need a Zapier account. If you don't have a Zapier account, just go to zapier.com and create a free account. You can use Zapier for free. Just keep in mind that it is limited to 100 tasks. But if you're starting out, it's perfect because you can scale as you grow. Once you have signed up for an account, you get logged in. You may see something different from what you see on my screen. That's because I already have an account. You may encounter some onboarding steps. I don't know. Just be prepared for that. Either way, find your way to the dashboard here. And this is what we want to work with. First, we click in here, connect this app. We type Google and see what comes up. What we want is Google Sheets because remember, we created a form and the form enters your subscribers' information into a Google Sheet. That's what we want over here. On this side, it will really depend what email service you're using. If you are using MailChimp, you would type in MailChimp and select that. If you're using, for example, Aweber, you would type that and you would click it. And if you're using ConvertKit, you would type ConvertKit and select that. I am using ActiveCampaign, and I'm going to select that. Then it's going to ask you what you want it to do. I want when there's a new contact in the Google Sheets, it will add it to my list, basically. I'm going to select under Google Sheets when there is a new spreadsheet row, do this. Now, this section here will really depend on the service you're using. Different services will have different options under this drop down here. I want to create or update. Where is it now? Create or update contact. And your next step asks you to try it. Now it's created a task flow for us. It's going to ask me which Google Sheets account I want to use. You can connect multiple Google accounts if you have them. If this is your first time doing this, when you click this, you will probably be asked to log in to your Google account and authorize Zapier to connect to your Google account or Google Sheets account. I've already done that previously because my account has been set up years ago. When I click it, it will ask me which account I want to use. Now, if you've only connected one account, you'll only see one. I want to use this account and we'll continue. Next, it'll ask you which spreadsheet inside that account you want to use. I'm going to click that and it's going to pull up all the spreadsheets that are available in my account for me to use. If you have lots and lots of sheets, you would probably have to use the search function like that. And here it shows up, create a Canva funnel responses. That's the sheet I want to use. So pay attention when you are creating your sheets or creating your forms, what the name of your Google Sheet is. After you select the spreadsheet, it wants to know which worksheet that's inside the spreadsheet you want to use. Thankfully, we only have one, which is form responses, and this is created by Google Forms when we set it up. And we'll click continue. And now it asks you to test the trigger. Let's go ahead and test. It found a spreadsheet row with this information in it. If you don't have any data in your spreadsheet before you set this up, you want to go to your form that we set up in the previous lesson and go ahead and enter some data in here. Make sure that your email is a real email. That way, you can completely test this process later on. submit your opt-in form. So when you submit it, you will have information in there. All it needs is one row of data in there. Otherwise, you will not be able to proceed here because it doesn't find any data. Let's click continue. We are in the active campaign step. It's going to ask me which active campaign account I want to use. I only have one active campaign account set up in this Zapier account. Again, the process is very similar, right? And now it's going to say, okay, which list do you want to add this contact to? As I click that, it will pull up all the lists that I can use. If you have a lot of lists, you have to type search, but I can see it's right there that I want to add this user to. The most important thing to do here is to make sure the email address field corresponds to the email address field that's in the spreadsheet. And the first name corresponds to the what's your name field. At this point, all we're really interested in is that we capture the email and the first name, which we already done. So make sure that you, under email address field, you have mapped the email address to the Google Sheets email address column and the name to the Google Sheets name column. And then we can jump all the way down here and click continue. Okay, so I'm going to click test action. All right. So it says a contact was sent to active campaign a second ago, which means it's successful. If it's not, something goes wrong, then it will tell you here as well. And you'll need to figure out what went wrong. I want to go back to Zapier here for a moment. And before I publish the Zap, under setup action, I don't know about you. Normally, when it comes to subscribing customers, I will always give them a tag. And this is how I organize my email list. You may organize it differently, but I like to organize everybody who comes in. I tag them with a specific tag so I know where they're coming from, what they bought, what free item they got. And this is not because I want to spy on them. It's so that I can specifically tailor my messages. Because after all, if you already have product A, you don't want me to keep telling you about product A, do you? I want to find the tags section here. If your email provider supports tags, you will have it. Otherwise, you won't. Again, this all depends on your service provider. I rather add my tags here. I know I already have a tag called Canva. Let me see here. Canva opt-in, I think. Let me go back here. And yep. And I'm simply gonna, oh, where did that go? Where did my tag go? Tags, okay, right there. Canva opt-in. And that's it. Now that's done, I'm gonna jump all the way down and continue. And now I'm ready to publish my Zap. If everything goes fine, you have to publish your Zap. Otherwise, your people won't be added to your email service. Publish and turn on. Fantastic. Your Zap is on. Before I can fully test this process, I would need to go back into my active campaign and create an automation. Again, this is going to be very different between your email service and my email service. Different email service calls this different things. Some call it an autoresponder, some call it automation. Whatever it is, you want to set that up first so that the first thing they would receive is a link to your thank you upsell page. Once that is done, we can go back to our landing page to test it. When we go back to our landing page, we'll click Watch Now. We land on the opt-in page. I'm going to put another email address here. And name, I'm just going to put some name in there. And I'm going to click Submit. Okay, well, let me move this aside. Let's go to my inbox. One thing to note when you're testing, if it doesn't come through as immediately as you want to, remember here it actually has to jump through several hoops. First, the information is entered into the Google Sheet. So let's take a look at our Google Sheets to see if the information went through. It did. We know that step is good. Let's go to Zapier and see if the information went through. Nothing has happened yet. And that's pretty normal because if you're on a free account, chances are you're not given priority. I'm going to hit my inbox again. There it is. After a few minutes, it's turned up. So they click to watch now. They'll land on the thank you opt-in page. Well, what do you think? If you found this video helpful, please like it and be sure to subscribe to my channel to get notified when I publish new videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.